What is up, guys? It is Ghost, and I am here again with more Mortal Kombat 11. Finally had some time to put together a video and edit it. This is a Give Me That Run Back video. This is a new episode of Give Me That Run Back. I'm playing against a pretty good noob Saibot. Still learning his matchup, and just stuff I can take away from actually playing my own Saibot. I actually haven't played Saibot in a while. I've been sticking mostly to Scorpion and Sub-Zero because kind of just fall in love with those characters all over again. So I kind of just wanted to, unscripted and just have a talk about what I think of the game, what the state it's in. With the state it's in. It's completely unedited, guys. It's going to be completely unedited. But, and just give my thoughts. So I guess we can start with the overall gameplay, and I guess we can just work our way from there. So talking about gameplay, I released a video during the beta when it was out. I got access to the early access beta and the stress test beta, and I got to play a lot of it. There was only like 3 characters available. That was Scorpion, Baraka, and Scarlet. And of course I played Scorpion the entire time, and by the end I had some final thoughts. And I just flat out said Scorpion was in a really bad state by the end of the beta. He had a lot of... I think every one of his strings actually was unsafe. All of his strings was unsafe. So if he did a string and you just blocked it and you knew when to block, where to block, you can just punish him every time. Just no matter what he did, it was all punishable. That and a lot of his special moves that I used, which was the death spin. I don't know if you see it here in this game or not, but you do get to see the combos, add-ons, and stuff like that. I think it was just too expensive. There it is right there, that combo that comes with the death spin. And it was just too expensive to equip it to your customize variation. The death spin costed 2 points out of 3 for your customized variation, and then if you wanted the overhead mix, it was an additional point. So that took up all 3 slots for customized variation, and it ultimately just made him weaker as a character because he couldn't take anything else. He couldn't take a combo ender, which is the demon dash, which is like the best one. That's unanimously voted that it was just the best ender for Scorpion. I personally use the Fire Breath now because it just reminds me of Mortal Kombat 4, and I just enjoy using it. And I've never really found myself using Demon Dash. I kind of just end the combo on a different string or something. And I'm having a lot of fun with him now because in the way he's built now, in the full release of the game, he's very good. If you've been keeping up with tier lists, not that they really fucking matter. I mean, Noob Saibot is kind of like B tier, and he's kicking my ass right now just because he knows the matchup, and I hadn't played online for a while, so we will get to that. We'll get to why I haven't played online for a while, but anyway. So, yep. Where he stands now, Scorpion, he's like S tier. A lot of people put him at the top. He's got a lot of good buttons. He's got a few good safe strings now, and some plus strings that make him very dangerous. And he can teleport on reaction on almost every attack. Yeah, he's very good now. They did everything I asked them to do to fix it. If you go back and rewatch my final thoughts video, I touch on a lot of stuff there, and I actually use a script, but. They did seem to address everything I had problems with by the end of the beta, and he is actually one of my more favorite characters to play now. I've always been a Scorpion fan, been a huge Scorpion main since the first Mortal Kombat game I ever picked up, which actually was Mortal Kombat 4. And I've been playing the franchise ever since. Of course, I went back and played the older ones before 4, but 4 is just kind of like everybody says that it's it's not a very good one. People, fans who have been playing the games prior to 4's release when it came back out, way back in I think 1997. But that one was my kind of like initiation into into the franchise. It was kind of what introduced me to the franchise, rather, was Mortal Kombat 4. So I can't help but love that title, and it holds a special place in my heart. And it introduced me to what became my just favorite franchise of all time, Mortal Kombat. So yeah, it's going to be kind of ranty. I am off a script, so just prepare for a little bit of ranty. You can always just hit mute, play some music, and watch the gameplay if you prefer. I know I have a really annoyingly irritating voice, but Scorpion's very strong in this build. I'm going to kind of just mainly talk about the other aspects of the game. I will get to Sub-Zero, but he will have his own video. I'm actually transitioning over to him now, because I've been playing a lot of Scorpion recently, and it's gotten kind of grindy and monotonous, so I'm switching up the characters, going back to Sub-Zero for a little while. He will get his own gameplay video probably soon after this one. I'm gonna release a couple of Scorpions, because I did go on to the rank sets, and I actually played my first rank set with Scorpion, and I won pretty easily. He doesn't have the demon breath or anything, but he does have the death spin, and the death spin combo starter, and he has his spear enhanced. Like, he's got the enhanced spear, the burning spear, which enhances all of his spear attacks, which is really fucking cool. Might actually make a variation just dedicated to that, just so I can get used to it, because it's really cool, and I set it up all the time. It's actually very easy to set up. So, talking about why it's taken so long to record more gameplay, edit it together, and actually make a video. And a few things, with the exception of the obvious, that I have a family and I work, so I have to you know, bring my full attention to them first, and do my job as a dad and as a partner, and you know, help pay the bills. But you know, talking about strictly gameplay, why I haven't recorded anything and uploaded, there are pretty glaring issues with this game that still not have been addressed, in my opinion, and that is just everything else but the gameplay, which means just the entire game has problems. And I know that sounds very critical. That sounds kind of unfair, maybe, to some of you people who love this game, and I absolutely love this game, don't get me wrong. But let's be honest with ourselves, this game has its issues, and it's mainly what it offers, but what it restricts on those offers. So this game offers customized variations. You can customize your character in almost every way. You can customize their costume, to the certain pieces on those costume, to even their special moves, and you can basically play the game just strictly in casual mode, and you know, and play it like that. You know, you customize everything, go into casual mode, and kick some ass, or get your ass kicked, when, you know, depending if you're good or bad at these games. I'm intermediate. I'm good and bad. I get my ass kicked from time to time, as you can see. So to get to these costume pieces, to get these skins, you have to grind. It is a slog. It isn't even a fun grind. It is a slog through the mud, through the crap this game has. I do not know what they were thinking with the Towers of Time and the customized pieces. I had no idea what was going on with NetherRealm Studios at the time. I know they have some pretty crazy controversy going on right now. They mistreat their women. No one can confirm nor deny if they pay their women fairly. And they also had these ridiculous crunches that were like 80 hours a week, that people just couldn't see their families. They were too busy working on the game on these like 80-hour crunch cycles. That's ridiculous. That's insanity. That's a whole nother video, though. I don't want to get into that. I kind of just don't want to talk about it at all. If you're really interested in it, you can find it. You can find the article on Polygon. But yeah, there's pretty big controversy coming out of NetherRealm Studios right now, and that could most likely affect how this game was developed and written. Because there's another thing, the story mode, where I always enjoy the story modes in every one of these NetherRealm Studios games since Mortal Kombat 9 and MKX and now Mortal Kombat 11. But they all have continuity issues. It's just like every time between games, they don't keep up with their own story and don't keep up with their own continuity, and something gets retconned unnecessarily or something gets forgotten, and it kind of just fucks up character development, and it looks really bad in the writer's room. But like I said, this could go back to it just being awful to work for either it's either WB or NetherRealm Studios. Someone needs to get their shit together over there. But aside, let's go back to Towers of Time, and the Towers of Time, in a word, are ass. The Towers of Time suck. They're not fun. They are frustrating still, even though they're a hell of a lot easier than they were on release. I did get to play a few of them before they updated it fairly quickly because of the amount of outcry that was coming out about how poorly designed the Towers of Time were, how difficult it was, how impossible it was for most people. Here's the problem. The Towers of Time is, by all accounts of the word, the casual mode. They're for casual players who do not want to go online, who are not very good at these games, who just want to like have a very casual beat 'em up every now and again for whatever reason. They just want to have fun, because that's what a game is. It's supposed to be fun, and it's just not. It's not fun at all. It is, like I said, it's tedious. It's monotonous. It's frustrating, and it's just unfun. Even now, still, regardless of how easy it is now, it's still very unfun. You have to continuously use consumables. I don't know if I can I'll probably just put gameplay here. But here, let me show you. So let's take a look here. This is the Scorpion Tower. Total fatal blows with Scorpion, 19 out of 35. That's the requirements to even unlock the tower. Total fatalities, 25. Total brutalities, 25. Total wins, 75. It's just the grind. It's monotonous. It's crazy. So you go back and look at the wins, the fatal blows. This is like over time. But this doesn't take into account the amount of fatal blows, the amount of fatalities, the amount of wins, the amount of brutalities you already have with this character as a career stat. Now, this is the last stage, I believe, of his particular tower. Yeah, stage 5. It's the last stage of his particular tower, and so I understand that there's going to be some requirements, but these are kind of ridiculous. Now, they were a lot worse when the game initially came out, but that's no excuse. That's no excuse. It's still ridiculous. It's still so much grind. There's just so much grind. This is the Sub-Zero Tower. 100 hearts required. Crushing blows. 25 crushing blows required. Total blood spill. It's... yeah, 10,000 gallons of blood spilt. Total hearts required 100 just to open that tower. And that one was 50. So you can understand what's going on, and it's even worse when you get into the towers. This is some gameplay of an actual tower here, of the computer player already being able to read your buttons whenever it wants. It blocks when it wants to or doesn't want to. But then you have things like this where the missile hits you and it goes completely black. You can't see a damn thing. And you can use consumables to alleviate this stuff, but it's only temporary, which makes it just so irritating, because those missiles, you have to jump over them. You can't block them. You get hit by the missile, it's, no matter if you're blocking, it's still going to black out the screen, and then you're completely blind while the computer can still see you. Like I said, you can use consumables to kind of alleviate this problem, but it's still ridiculous. It's still a grind. It's still a slog through the muck, and it throws off you being able to, you know, do good damage on these computer players, which then, for some reason, from time to time, when they get low on health and you're low on health, they ramp it up to 11, and you can't hit them at all. They'll block everything because they'll read your buttons and they'll know what's coming, and they'll instant counter you. There are moves that Kotal has, particularly, let's talk about Kotal for a second. He has terrible buttons. Scorpion almost beats him on everything, but the computer can instantly counter you by reading your button, and instantly, within the same second of you pressing that button, can counter you. So he could throw out something that shouldn't be able to hit me or beat out one of my buttons with his own button. And it's just stuff like that. That's basically the grind you have to get through to, you know, get anything good with any one of these characters, to have any sort of fun with these characters. And it's a problem. It's a problem that needs to be addressed and fixed, because if it's not fixed, it takes away from the fun. And that's the most important thing. It's supposed to be fun. So I think what they can do to address this issue is, one, get rid of the RNG. That's the other thing. You could be trying to work on Scorpion particularly, and you can do that with his particular character tower, or Sub-Zero, or Kotal, or Baraka, whoever you're playing. And that's you get gear and skins for that particular character, but it's all random. None of it's fixed. So going to the crypt and unlocking stuff, also not fixed. It's all random. So you should be able to, they should fix it to where you can just buy with in-game currency the gear that you want. And it'll cut this time in half. It'll cut this down actually to 3/4. You know, and it'll cut it down, and it'll make it more fun. And people can just have full control over their characters' customization options and things like that. You know, because all the special moves are unlocked from the beginning. And the transition from Injustice 2 to Mortal Kombat 11, that was a big issue that people had in Injustice 2. There was unlockable special moves, but it was all random, or you had to wait for, you know, the multiverse for that particular character, and then even then it wasn't a guarantee. So I think to this day there are people who still don't have the Staff of Grayson for Robin in Injustice 2, and I'm one of those people who still doesn't have the Staff of Grayson, mainly because I stopped playing, but still. They unlocked all the special moves at the beginning. They're all equipable and usable at the beginning, and that's very good on NetherRealm Studios' part. But the customization took a nosedive between the two games, Injustice 2 and this one. Where in Injustice 2, you can play all day for, let's say you play for 8 hours and you're trying to look for Supergirl gear, like she's my main, so I'm just using her as an example. And you're guaranteed after the 8 hours of play, you get damn good amount of gear for her. You'd get a good handful of gear for Supergirl, mainly because after winning a match, you had a chance of rolling for gear. Like you would get gear, and you can set it in the settings that you can better chance for the gear for the particular character you're playing. So if you're playing Supergirl, you had more of a chance to get her gear after every win or every match. That and the mother boxes were just way more balanced when it came to their RNG. You just had a way better chance of getting gear for the character that you wanted, opening a whole shit ton of mother boxes than you do running around the crypt in this game and opening every box you see. And anything that is below 5K in the crypt are not gear items, that are not skins. They're concept art, which is fine. I love concept art. I've always loved concept art, and concept art has always been inside the crypt. But now that you have a whole new mechanic that you implemented into this game, which is the gear system and the skins and all that stuff, people are going to want stuff for their particular favorite. They're not going to want... I don't want shit for Kotal Khan or Baraka or Cetrion. I don't play those characters. I might pick up Baraka, but the other two I definitely will never touch. So it's pointless for me to continuously get their gear on random rolls. And the other thing, when it comes to selecting towers in the Towers of Time, you just go off and you pick an island and then they have like several towers on it. I don't know if there's a bias over there at NetherRealm Studios or the towers refresh are completely randomized, but it seems Jackie Briggs is getting a lot of love in the Towers of Time. That's a problem because I don't play that character. That's a problem for me, and that's unfair for me. I don't think I've seen a Scorpion or a Sub-Zero tower in weeks. This game has been out for weeks. So this intro right here, that's what I got for grinding 5 stages of his character. That opening right there, where he whips the sword around and lights it on fire, is my favorite opening, and I finally have it. Now I'm done grinding. Basically, I just want a particular mask, but I've just given up. I believe I'm probably just never going to get it. That shouldn't be a thing. You should always want to get more gear for that character. But anyway, back to the Towers of Time. Their algorithm needs to be better. If it's completely random, which I'm going to just give them the benefit of the doubt and assume that it is, that the Towers of Time, when they refresh after a certain amount of time, like towers stay up for a certain amount of time, like an hour and a half, and then they disappear and they refresh with a new tower, with a new set of towers. And it's all and most of the time it's character driven. It's a particular character. So when you do those Towers of Time, you're getting gear for that particular character. But recently, and since launch, because I play almost every day when I'm not, being a dad and my son's in bed and I have some time to myself, I'm more often than not seeing Jackie Briggs towers. Now, I understand she's a big character right now. They completely overhauled her in this game as opposed to the other one, so they want to give her some love from MKX because she was awful in MKX and she was just uninteresting and no one liked her. And now she is very interesting and she's got a lot of good buttons and her combos and strings and gameplay is a whole lot of fun compared to what she was in the last game. I understand. I get it. Not a hater, but I would like to see more variety in the Towers of Time in their rotation, because right now it's lacking. I have not seen a Scorpion or Sub-Zero tower in forever. Now I know that's a 2 in 25 chance to get, but still, guys, regardless, I don't think I've seen a Baraka tower in forever. I don't think I've seen I haven't seen a Liu Kang tower in a little while. Maybe I'm missing something, but regardless, a little more love. But so I've kind of just delve off into the weeds here and kind of just droning on. So I'm just gonna end it. And on a final note, I really like the game. I do. Despite all my gripes with it right now, I really like it. Playing as Scorpion, playing as Sub-Zero has never been more fun. Noob Saibot I play occasionally now, but he's got some... I don't like the fact that he's got all high strings. That's a big problem for me. I mean, not all of his strings are high, but most of his good starters are high, and that's no bueno. But I really like the game. I'm excited to continue to play. I'm actually going to start doing ranked matches with Scorpion. I'm not quite comfortable with Sub-Zero yet because of his because when you play ranked matches, you have to use the tournament variations, so you can't customize anything. It's just the ones that they've laid out for you. And Sub-Zero's right now, it's kind of hard to get used to his, because he has a lot that leaves to be desired, and that's mostly because I don't have the ice leap move that I can equip for additional damage. I usually use the enhanced ice ball with the ice launcher move, and that's usually what I do to extend my combos. So I have to actually just get good. Basically, I'm complaining because I'm not good. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that, and let you guys enjoy the rest of the gameplay, and I will see you guys in the next one. Rank set for Scorpion coming soon. Catch you later, guys. Deuces.
Finish him. Sony wins. Round 1, fight. Round 2, fight.